After a month of eating just one a day, they were able to lose 1 pound with just 1 hour before lunch. That's the power of you don't have to do extra exercise. You don't have to limit your calories. Just eat the way you want. This is smoking hot research. Piece of acromantia causes your body to produce its own GLP-1, which is exactly what Ompic and these prescription drugs are trying to do. And the point is, you don't need a ton in order to be able to get the benefit from your health. So, what are some things that research overall have shown to be good for stress and lowering and calming ourselves? So, it turns out music, applause, that I went to markets all around the world. New York, and I went to one in France to show people what I'm looking at and why I'm looking at it when I'm actually shopping. But it's easy to do. The things that you think are going to be healthy for you tend to be healthy. And then sometimes there are things that you're not sure would be healthy that actually turns out to trigger brown fat. Like a can of beans can actually do that as well. Well, let's talk about the 5 things that you recommend that everybody add, because the team went to the grocery store and we have here on the table some of the things that you mentioned. And so I would love for you to just kind of point out some of the stuff on this plate. Tell us about the 5 things that we can add in, or things that are really important to add in, and why. Okay, so let's just dive right in. One of my favorite all-time foods are tomatoes, okay? And I think most people like tomatoes, not just in a garden salad, but think about your grandmother's tomato sauce, or you go out to Italy and you're eating some pasta or Italian restaurant. Who doesn't like some tomato sauce? Well, it turns out tomatoes contain a natural bioactive called lycopene. Lycopene is found in nature. It triggers your brown fat to burn down harmful extra body fat. And a study in Portugal showed this in a totally clear way. They took young, healthy women who were grad students, okay, normal body size, okay, and they told them, just go eat and exercise the way you normally do. Don't do anything special for this research study. The only thing they did is they gave them one ripe tomato to eat an hour before lunch every single day. That's it. Okay. And they measured their body composition. So they put them under a scanner to look at how much visceral fat. They measured their waistline. They measured their blood cholesterol and their blood sugars and all the parameters, inflammatory markers. And they found, after a month of eating just one tomato a day, that this is the only thing they were able to lose 1 pound with just one tomato 1 hour before lunch. That's the power of the lycopene in the tomato. You don't have to do extra exercise. You don't have to limit your calories. Just eat the way you want. That just shows you how powerful a food actually is. Now, lycopene is what's doing this. If you want the lycopene to really fire up, now lycopene, pick a tomato off a vine and eat it like an apple. It's going to be good for you. It's going to do its thing. If you want the lycopene to be supercharged, I do. What you want to do is you want to heat it up, saute it, okay? 190 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, okay? We'll amp up the power of that lycopene by 250%, because the heat will change the chemistry of the lycopene into a form your body loves to absorb. So this is why Mediterranean food, whether you're talking about Spain, Greece, Italy, cooking up that tomato sauce, simmering it gently, right? Okay. Oh, by the way, lycopene likes to dissolve in body fat. In fact, this has been studied at Tufts University. You actually feed some young people a tomato with lycopene, or foods that contain lycopene. They were able to track where that lycopene goes. You know where it goes, and they found it. It goes right to your butt, right to your thigh. It goes homes in. Dude, I'm having a tomato right after the body fat, where it triggers your brown fat to fight that fat. This is amazing. Okay. Well, you know what's so cool about this is you're using the research and the science, which you are clearly so passionate about, to truly teach us about the extraordinary power of your metabolism and how it's designed to work correctly. And if you feed it what it needs, the proper fuel, yeah, it like turns on for you. There are some other things that we have on the tray here. What else do these magical things do? Pomegranates. Okay, pomegranates. You can have the pomegranate seeds on a salad. You could have pure pomegranate juice. Okay. And pomegranates, they're pretty sweet. So you got to not eat too much or do not drink too much of the juice. Actually, you just need about 8 fluid ounces, 1 cup. all right, contains a natural substance called oligotitonins. Again, don't worry about trying to spell checking it out. It's complicated word olagotinins. Mother Nature's pharmacy is found in the juice of a pomegranate. And what that does is it activates your gut to secrete mucus, healthy mucus. But how do you move stool? How do you get regular? You want to keep it all moving, right? So you need mucus. Mucus slip slides the thing all the way down your other end. Mucus. That healthy mucus will grow a bacteria, a healthy gut bacteria called Akkermansia muciniphila. Muciniphila means it loves mucus. Akkermansia, this is the name of a gut bacteria that everyone who's listening to this and watching this should pay attention to. Akkermansia, Akkermansia. Turns out Akkermansia is a guardian of our metabolism. Akkermansia activates our immune system, lowers inflammation, and this is smoking hot research, Mel. All right, I'm just telling you, I love how you talk about this piece of Akkermansia. So think about Akkermansia like, an armadillo. It's got kind of a hard shell on the outside, little pieces on it on the outside. One piece has just been discovered. It's called P9. P is in Peter 9. That fragment of Akkermansia, whether the bacteria is alive or blown into a hun pieces, that bacteria, that piece of that bacteria causes your body to produce its own GLP-1, which is exactly what Ompic and these prescription drugs are trying to do. So pomegranates grow Akkermansia. Akkermansia will cause your body to create GLP-1. And what has GLP-1 done? Lowers your blood sugar, helps you lose body fat. Wow. Okay, that's actually these discoveries that are being made. Food is medicine, right? Like that's what I do. It's super cool. But if you're going to drink pomegranate juice, be very careful. Here's a practical tip. Go to the grocery store, look for pomegranate juice. I tell people don't make sure it's pure pomegranate juice. Always, always, always check the ingredient label to make sure it's not really apple juice. It's got a little squirt of pomegranate in it and red food coloring. Don't do that. Get the real deal or just buy the pomegranate. You know why? Because when you have the whole pomegranate, you're going to get the dietary fiber from the seeds. And those seeds, the dietary fiber, feeds your gut microbiome, making the Akkermansia even happier. That's incredible. Okay, that's incredible. What does a kiwi do? Because I see kiwi. Kiwi is amazing because number one, kiwi is a great source of vitamin C. C is in Charlie. All right. What does that do? That lowers inflammation. Now, if if you're carrying around extra body fat, you're inflamed. No doubt about it. So just having a kiwi, one kiwi a day gives you a big dose of vitamin C to lower that inflammation, and you will feel the difference. All right. You feel just less or Z up inside. Now, the other thing is kiwi has a lot of dietary fiber, and that dietary fiber can change your healthy gut bacteria. If it's not so healthy, it'll start to grow the healthy stuff in 24 hours. A kiwi a day in the next day, you will start seeing those beneficial effects. What? Wait, the next day? 24 hours. So I eat one kiwi. One kiwi will begin you'll start feeling the beneficial effects. It'll take an unhealthy back gut bacteria colony, start to make it a little healthier just in one day. After 4 days, you're going to get even more. All right. So this is why it's so important to think about this. The kiwi a day for breakfast is super easy. I love kiwi. It's really easy. Oh, by the way, the skin of the kiwi, amazing source of dietary fiber. But who would eat that? Who would eat that? I don't know. I'll tell you. I wouldn't do it either. But you know how you do it? Make a smoothie. Oh, okay. Eat the kiwi with a spoon. Toss the skin into a blender to make the smoothie. It'll disappear and you'll get a huge amount of dietary fiber. What a great tip. You should have a cooking show. I really think you should have a cooking show. Talk to me about matcha. Matcha. All right, matcha is one of my favorite ways of having green tea. Now, we know green tea. It looks like you're drinking some green tea in front of you right now. You have it in a tea bag. So the tea leaves are steeped in the hot water, and the polyphenols, the cacans, come dissolving out of that into the water, and you sip it, and you get the good stuff, the cacans, which, by the way, turn on your brown fat to trigger down and burn harmful white fat. All right, watch me drink my tea now. Have a sip, have a sip. All right. Now, but I got to Tell you matcha is a heck of a lot more powerful than tea in a bag because matcha is the entire tea leaf ground into a powder. Now you get 100% of the polyphenols. There's nothing left inside a tea bag. The whole shebang is in there and the dietary fiber, good for your gut microbiome. So you want a dose of the polyphenols from tea. Drink matcha, you get the fiber, you get 100% of the polyphenols. It's super, super powerful, and that's been shown to burn down harmful body fat. How do we know it burns down harmful body fat? Is because it actually shrinks your waistline. You can actually lose an inch of a belt drinking matcha. By drinking matcha, that's been studied by researchers in Japan in clinical research, all the foods we're talking about. Now, I need to clarify though, because matcha tastes like dirty grass at times. So if I want to add in a little sugar or a little something, am I killing all the benefit? I would not. I would not listen. If you are struggling with the taste of matcha, which is, listen, the reason it tastes like grass is because it's a whole damn leaf in there. Okay, here's what you do. Make a smoothie or a shake with it and just pour it in there and it'll disappear right in the background. All right, Dr. Lee, you're a genius. It's the simplest way. Okay. Now, so matcha is really good. All right. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. Who doesn't like dark chocolate? Who doesn't like chocolate? All right. Well, it turns out a lot of people get confused. They're like, so, Dr. Lee, you're telling people to eat chocolate? Yes, I am. And the reason is because chocolate is actually a plant-based food. What? Well, chocolate is made with what makes chocolate is cacao. Okay. And cacao comes from the cocoa bean pod that is growing from a tree. And you take these pods, which are shaped like a football. They're heavy. All right. You cut them open, you peel off the outer skin, you dry it, you ferment it, you crush it up into a powder, and now you mix it in to make chocolate. So chocolate's a confection, but it's made with a plant-based food. What's in that seed pod? Polyphenols up the yin yang. One of them is called proanthocyanid. Let me just tell you, the more cacao you have in your chocolate, the higher percent cacao, right? You've heard about this 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%, right? So the higher the percent and what you want to look for is 80% or higher, you're getting a ton of these polyphenols in your chocolate. All right. And those polyphenols trigger brown fat to fire off and burn down your harmful white fat. All right. Dark chocolate does that. Now, the darker, the more bitter it's going to be. So what I like to do, what I tell people, like just get a little square of it and have it with coffee. You've created mocha. Bite of chocolate, sip of coffee, you've created your own mocha. And guess what coffee has? Coffee also has polyphenols, chlorogenic acid. Oh, didn't you hear me say this before with apples? That's right. Coffee has chlorogenic acid. So a cup of coffee will fire up your brown fat to burn down the harmful white fat every single morning. Wait, so coffee with chocolate helps you burn fat? Yep. That's a double-barreled approach. Matcha, kiwi, pomegranates, and tomatoes help you burn fat. That's right. And so does edamame. You have a little thing of edamame on this plate here. Edamame, soybeans. It turns out that soybeans have been shown to trigger on the burning of harmful body fat by triggering your brown fat. And so this is actually, if you think about the foods we talked about, these are not like crazy things you got to spend a lot of money ordering on the internet from some, crazy supplement producer. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be a fitness champ. All right. The foods that we love to eat can be really healthy for us as long as you don't overeat, don't overfill the fuel tank, as long as you're keeping on moving around so you're burning some of the fuel. All right. Well, hello. If you're looking to take control of your health and you want to use food as medicine to optimize your health, then I invite you to check out my Eat to Beat Disease course. I personally developed all the materials. It is fully online and packed with practical, science-based strategies and everyday tips that you can start using right away to boost your body's natural defenses that protect your health and fight disease. So whether you're wanting to prevent a disease or overcome one, or whether you just want to feel your best, my Eat to Beat Disease course has everything you need to make powerful changes in your life. Learn more about it by clicking the link below. But you think about it, you get extra virgin olive oil is there, lentils and legumes are there, cans of beans are on there. One of my favorite beans are actually simple can of white navy beans. All right, I love them. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I must have had a nice soup or stew with them. Are they going to help me burn fat? They are. Wow. So studies have been done by the University of Toronto looking at people that have metabolic syndrome. So they already had a little too much body fat. And it turns out that by giving people the equivalent of one can of beans to eat 5 times a week, so not every day, 5 times the week, they could actually shrink the waistline of people by shrinking body fat in the tube of the body, visceral fat, by an inch over the course of a month. Now, how does that work? Well, it turns out that there's fiber, dietary fiber in beans. Now, how you cook them matters. Obviously, how you serve it matters. And use a traditional recipe, and you get like bean stew with rosemary and olive oil and chopped shallots or onions in there. I mean, it's going to taste really good. All right. Trust me on this because I can make that myself. And what it does is that dietary fiber feeds your gut microbiome, your healthy gut bacteria. Thank you for doing it. And they release substances that help to streamline your metabolism. So you use your energy more efficiently. All right. So middle aisle. Another place, another group of foods in the middle aisle that get bypassed. Obviously, dried fruits. You can actually get cranberries, blueberries, apricots. You can get in the middle aisle. But here's something that a lot of people don't pay any attention to, and that is tinned seafood. What? Tinned seafood? Okay. Okay. What am I doing with tinned seafood? Doctor, now follow me on this. Right. When I was a kid, and if I saw a round can of tuna fish. Yep. Now, I've been to my friends' houses long often enough when I was a kid when one of those things get opened up. It smells fishy and it smelled just like wet cat food. Yes. All right. So I'd stay away from that stuff like my whole life. Then when I was doing my research, I realized that I was wrong and that tinned seafood is a delicacy in the Mediterranean with really healthy diets. And they call them conservas, like they're conserving it, they're preserving it. They catch fish on a boat. It could be squid, it could be mackerel, it could be sardines, it could be tuna, could be a whole bunch of different kinds of fish. Um, they cook it right away, they steam it, and then they pack it in extra virgin olive oil. So now the fish has got omega-3, healthy omega-3s, good for your metabolism, helps you burn harmful body fat. Now they're packing in olive oil. Now it's nice and moist, and olive oil has got the hydroxyol and oleoanthol that helps activate your brown fat. Then they chop up little herbs and flavoring seasoning and they put it into a tin. And the reason they did that in the Mediterranean is because in the months they couldn't go out fishing. All right. They would actually want to have omega 3s. They didn't call them omega 3s. They just called them protein and they call them delicious local foods. But if you go to Spain, Portugal, south of France, Italy, Greece, and you go look at, some of their little food stores by the water, by the shore, you will have stores packed with these conservatives, and they are delicious. Fastest lunch I've ever had, okay, is you get a hunk of sourdough bread. Sourdough because it's a fermented probiotic food. The sourness of sourdough bread comes from a bacteria called lactobacillus. Makes lactic acid, which gives you the tangy sour sourdough bread. It's great for you. Hunk of sourdough bread, reach into my pantry, pull out a tin of conserve, pop it open with a fork, and I've got myself a really delicious when I open some pickles or something. Now you get some more fermented foods. That's a way of getting a really tasty, mouth-watering lunch. And what I do, by the way, for at night, if I am so busy I don't have time to cook dinner, but I'm hungry, right? And I'm like, oh, I got to eat something, but I didn't plan dinner or I missed dinner. What do? I will take I'll take a pot, boil some water. I'll look for some good pasta, ideal organic pasta. I'll boil it up. Okay. I take a stainless steel pan, and you know what I do? I heat it up with a little extra virgin olive oil, and I will crack open a tinned seafood thing. Might be mackerel, sardines, could be anything. Okay, mussels, clams, squid, and I will just cut those up real briefly and I'll throw them right into the cooked pasta. Heat it up. Take a little tube of double concentrated tomato paste, little squirt in there, flip it around a couple of times, and man, my whole house smells great. And now I've gotten like a gourmet meal. I just made myself with conserve aisle of the grocery store. And more importantly, all of those things help me lose weight and they're not expensive. Yes. Okay. So this is Dr. Lee. That's the trifecta. That's right. So again, middle aisle, it's got lots of good stuff. You got to filter out all the bad stuff, but go for the good stuff that you can actually find. That to me is really the important thing, is that my message is that you should really try to align the foods that you love to eat, that research has discovered can help you burn body fat, improve your metabolism, help you stay healthier, get to that next level of health, and eat reasonable amounts of it. Prepare it with other ingredients that are actually going to light up your health, and just enjoy. What are some things that research overall have shown to be good for stress and lowering and calming ourselves? So it turns out that tea, second most popular beverage in the world after drinking water, tea can actually lower your catecholamines, your stress hormones from your brain. You drink green tea. How much? What's the dose? Most of the research looks at 3 to 4 cups of green tea a day. Now, this is not big honking mugs. We're talking about cups of tea, right? So, we carry around these big thermos bottles, but actually the researchers that do this are pretty precise. 1 cup is, like 8 fluid ounces. It's not very much. And the point is, you don't need a ton in order to be able to get the benefit from your health. So 3 to 4 cups, 8 fluid ounces of green tea a day, for example, actually has been shown to calm the release of stress hormones, which then causes you to feel a little bit more relaxed. And although people talk about, well, I can't have tea at night because the caffeine will keep me up all night, some of that's probably psychosomatic, some of it's real, some of it's individual. But I can tell you, I can drink coffee in the morning. I can't drink coffee at night, but I can drink tea at night and I can sleep just fine. So tea is one of those things. Another beverage is calming, and this is actually something that surprises me, but it's kind of a rediscovery of the common fact chamomile, which is chamomile tea and herbal tea made from dried flowers. So, if you plant a garden in the late spring or early summer, you can actually find chamomile in the farmer's market. If you take those flowers and you actually dry them up, which is what they do in the tea shop, and then you brew tea out of it, you actually can get a calming bioactive natural chemical that diffuses out from the dried petals, and it actually has been shown to calm you. The other thing that actually surprisingly is calming can be tree nuts. So tree nuts are almonds, walnuts, pistachios, macadamia. If you have those tree nuts as a snack, don't eat too much, but just enough to kind of snack on. I think people know what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about the sugar sweetened ones, like caramel glazed ones. I'm also not talking about the ones that you buy that are kind of nuclear colored, spiced up, that you get in the gas station, when you're paying for your gas, right? Or you're on a road trip. I'm talking about, like bulk tree nuts that you can bring home. You can roast them lightly in the oven, like at 350 for 15 minutes or so. Toast them up. If you want to make it a little salty, sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on it with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I like to cook, so I like to talk about, making it real for people. Your social media is great, by the way. I get hungry every time I watch you in the grocery store. You're cooking. Anyways, keep going. But you do a wonderful job of making it real and something that people can relate to. Yeah. Well, listen, tree nuts. Make your own trail mix, so to speak. Make your own snacks. You have a bowl of it hanging around. But guess what? Those tree nuts are a source of good, healthy fats, monounsaturated fatty acids. We know what it is. It's a good source of protein, which we also need. You need, if you're over the age of 40, you want to actually up your protein to maintain your muscle mass. That's very important for longevity and strength as you age. Vibrancy is really key, and good strong muscles help us become vibrant. You don't have to be Schwarzenegger, but you have to actually be able to walk up a flight of steps and open a jar of pickles kind of thing. Now, the other thing is that tree nuts have dietary fiber, and this is the point I'm getting to. Dietary fiber feeds our gut microbiome, the 39 trillion bacteria that mostly live in our the lower third of our gut in our colon. All right. And these bacteria form a colony, a peaceful neighborhood of useful bacteria that actually lower inflammation. When you feed the bacteria, they pay us back by releasing these substances called short chain fatty acids. We know what they are actually, and they lower inflammation. And when you're inflamed, your stress levels go up, your source hormones are released. When your inflammation is down, any little bit that you can do to kind of lower your inflammation also is calming. And so these are just some examples from this myriad of research of how the things that are actually available to us not far away. You don't have to biohack. These are things that the old world actually used these things, and now the science is showing how they work and that they do work. Hey, if you like that video, then you're going to love this one. Check it out.